The 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You might be one of anime's latest, biggest masterpieces. It achieved an amazing result not by trying to subvert the medium's tropes or adding depth into the narrative, but by pushing its own cliches and archetypes to the very stream of its ideas. See, Harem is an usually very hated genre of anime because of its shallow depth characters, which fulfillment elements. When it's over, you're left with that sensation that very little pandering that you got wasn't worth it. All the mental gymnastics your brain got numb to. So what if instead of trying to make a harem where there are 3 or 4 possible candidates for a girlfriend and the protagonist is either too shy or too busy to care about anything, so things don't seem ridiculous, we just simply go all in. 100 Girlfriends pushes all the taboos possible for a relationship one after the other and shows you a story where things just work. They just work. It's a happy story. First, we're given the polyamory in official manner. No girlfriends to be, no friends with benefits, no anything. This anime cuts straight to the point and says, let's go along with both girls. But it doesn't stop there. It just goes on and on to the point of batshit insanity. Every character is a stiff archetype, and at the beginning I hated it. I truly hated it. But then I thought, well, if it's 100 girlfriends, you will end up with mere archetypes sooner or later, right? So you rather try to embrace the nature in that part of the story from the very start and make it a strength rather than trying to hide it. And then I thought, why 100 girlfriends then? What's the point of that? And that's when I was struck with the genius, the sheer genius of the idea itself. This anime is about making the most ridiculous relationships work. It is a Herculean task to find every possible combination and permutation of taboo relationships reduced to a number 100 and give every relationship formed between taboos a representation in a piece of media. And that, my friend, is why it's so fucking genius. First we have the pretty girl, not a character trait rather than being cute and attractive. Then we have the tough girl that is soft inside, as all tsunderes go. Then we have a quiet and small yandere, someone you want to take care of and protect. Then a good student who doesn't get social clues or most of the world rules at all. Which to me that points out to autistic traits, you know, in a very cartoonish archetype way of being. Then a girl that is actually the protagonist senior but does have mental regression episodes. Mental regression is a real phenomenon that happens with people who suffer trauma, stress, or some mental health conditions. And here is presented in the most wacky cartoon way. She literally turns into a smaller kid with potions. We have entered the realm of sci-fi. Then we go into the age gap part, when the protagonist starts dating the mother of one of his girlfriends and she enters the harem. All these relationships, all of them, if this was real life, you feel horrified. You will expect them to fail the very first second they begin. But in the anime, the comedy never happens due to misery. It happens due to happy moments, which makes it an incredibly saccharine and cloying watch. And an equally upsetting one as well. That's why it works, because it's doing what cartoons do best, and converging all these probabilities into a type of reality that speaks into the ideal of the absurd. And even so, it's not blind to the kind of reality this divergence causes. You see, well, Komi-san makes the shy girl the star of her school, the quiet girl here actually goes through trauma because she can't force herself to speak. She's punished and hurt by her family, but then she's accepted as it is by the polyamory. It is just insane that this kind of representation of mutism in media is in this anime of all places. This anime, as stupid and as absurd as it is, did everything I wanted to Komi-san to ever do, but never did. This anime is an absolute postmodern masterpiece, and I want to read the manga due time, maybe once it's finished, so I don't have to wait between chapters, but holy shit. If there is something I dislike is of course the high school setting, because it makes the age gap relationships incredibly alarming when taken out of its cartoon fantasy context. I have the feeling that this was fully intended though. After all, this is an anime about relationships that shouldn't work, but do. Therefore, the idea of a sinister rage baiting hiding under its wholesome coding in case you decide to use the series for anything else that it was intended for isn't that wild to imagine. Really, it's just everything about this anime just feels so arrogant and bold and unrestrained. The mere nature of this element makes it dangerous for anyone who would like to use this story as a life example. But again, art can work a lot when it's not trying to teach you something, but when it's trying to document something. And this anime documents the feelings of a romantic mania. This is a cartoon in every sense of the word, from the physical to the metaphysical, from its medium, characters, logic, heart, discourse, objective, ambitions, everything about it belongs in the realm of a cartoon. What an absolute masterpiece. Eventually, I will get into the manga. By now, this show is a 10 out of 10. Indeed. Goodbye.